What does it mean to be made in the image of God? And is it arrogant for humans to think of ourselves as special and unique out of all created life? Well, that question comes from Genesis chapter 1, where we're told, God said, "Let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all creatures that move along the ground." So God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him, male and female, He created them. We're made in the image of God, and that's what sets us apart, because nothing else in all of creation is said to be made in the image of God. What that means is that even though we share something like 96% of our DNA in common with chimpanzees, we are categorically different kind of life than they are. We're made in the image of God, but what exactly does that mean? Well, three things, and they all start with R, so they're easy to remember. First, being made in the image of God means that we uniquely have the ability to relate to God as our Father. That's not true of any other animal. Only we can call God Father. Second, we're able to reflect God's character of righteousness. We're able to make moral choices like God does. Again, not true of other created life. There is no morality behind a chimpanzee's choice. It cannot choose righteousness or sin like we can. Third, we uniquely are able to radiate God's glory. It's fascinating. When Moses spent time with God in the Old Testament, he would come out of those encounters with his face shining like a light bulb. It freaked the Israelites out, and so they made him wear a veil. The reason he shone is because God created our bodies to radiate visible light, to demonstrate His glory to the universe. Our bodies don't really do that yet because we've been affected by the fall of humanity and the entrance of sin into the human race. But they will in the future. In the resurrection, we're told by the prophet Daniel that we will shine like the stars of the heavens. So our unique ability to relate to God as Father, to reflect His character of righteousness, and to radiate His glory, that's what allows us to rule on God's behalf over the earth. And that's an incredible honor, an incredibly special thing that should not lead us to arrogance. Instead, it should lead us to humility, because we're not the ones who made ourselves in the image of God. In Psalm chapter 8, King David reflects back on Genesis 1, and he thinks about what that means about him as a human being. And here's what he says: "When I consider your heavens, God, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him, the son of man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned him with glory and honor. You made him rule over the works of your hands. You put everything under his feet. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth." There is no honor or pride that can go to us. All praise goes to God. For He's the one who made us in His image. He's the one who gave us this incredible honor of being made in His image, called to rule the earth on His behalf. This is also the final nail in the coffin of all racism and bigotry and xenophobia. This is proof that all human beings, regardless of ethnicity, nationality, economic status, gender, we are all equally special in the eyes of God, for we are all made in His image.